guys, today we're going to be talking about converting fractions to decimals and decimals to fractions. This is going to go along with what kids know about the tenths and the hundredths. First I'm going to show you on a grid just to give you a visual. This grid you'll see has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 columns. So on a 10 column grid, we can represent our tenths. Okay, and our tenths is the first place after the decimal. Our next grid, we have a 10 by 10. Again, 10 columns, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And 10 rows, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So altogether in this grid we have 100 squares. So this represents our hundredths. Okay? And anything in the hundredths is two numbers after the decimal. The first number after the decimal is our tenth spot. The second number is our hundredth spot. So let's do an example. Let's say I want to show 4 tenths. So I would shade in 4 columns. That's 1 tenth, 2 tenths, 3 tenths, and 4 tenths. So as a decimal, I would write this as 4 tenths. As a fraction, it would be written as 4 over 10. Alright, if I wanted to grid hundredths, let's say I had 13 hundredths. I have 1 tenth and 3 hundredths. So, I'm going to shade one column. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 hundredths. And if you look carefully, you can see one column equals 10 hundredths. Or if we were comparing it to a tenths grid, 10 hundredths also equals 1 tenth. And I still have 3 ones to shade. So I have 10 hundredths in one column, 11 hundredths, 12 hundredths, 13 hundredths. So I have 13 out of 100 squares shaded. So the decimal would be 0.13 13 hundredths, or the fraction would be 13 over 100. Alright, so now I am going to look at this. Let's just look at some decimals to fractions now that I've given you a visual. So let's say we have 3 tenths. The decimal form is 0.3. If I want to write that as a fraction, I've got one place after the decimal, so I know that that's going to be out of tenths, because 10 tenths would equal 1 whole, and I have 3 tenths, so it would be 3 over 10. Likewise, with a decimal in the hundredths, let's say I have 25 hundredths. I have 2 numbers after the decimal, so tenths, hundredths. That tells me it's going to have to be over 100. And so I would have 25 out of 100, so 25 over 100 would be my fraction. What if I needed to switch from the fraction form to the decimal? So let's say I have 7 tenths. If I see that it's over a tenth, then I know because it's over 10 that it's in the tenth spot, and that's going to be my first place after my decimal. So 0 and 7 tenths, 0.7. All right, let's do a fraction. Let's do 5 hundredths. Okay, I know that that is over 100, so that tells me I have to have 2 places after my decimal. Sometimes kids can get confused with this. I need 2 digits after my decimal, but it only has a value of 5. Hundredths is like pennies. So I would have to put, I have 0 tens and 5 hundredths. So the decimal form for 5 over 100 would be 0.05, 5 hundredths. Let's try 1 or 2 more. Let's do 4 tenths to a decimal. So 4 over 10 tells me I'm going to have one place after the decimal, so 0.4. And now let's try one with a whole number. As a fraction, a whole number, to be able to convert it to a decimal is going to be a mixed number. I'm going to have a whole number, and then I'm going to have a numerator of 23 over 100. So that means I have one whole and then 23 out of 100. So to write that as a decimal, I would have 1 decimal, which we say and in math when there's a decimal, 1 and 23 hundredths. You can see I have 2 places after the decimal, so that 23 is correctly representing 23 hundredths. Okay, that was taking a mixed number. A mixed number is a number with a whole and a fractional part. And then we took it to a decimal, and the decimal had 1 as a whole and then 23 hundredths. So the part of the whole. I hope this video helps. Have a great day.